matriarchal studies, we have developed a new definition of matriarchal societies which is adequate to these still existing matriarchies. They are all mother-centered, but mothers don't rule in these societies, so it is wrong to imagine that matriarchies are societies where women or mothers rule. It's completely wrong. They are not the mirror image of patriarchy. They are mother-centered, mothers are at the center, but not at the top. The main features are when you find a society where you have the feeling all the women are so present and so strong, and you find out that they are organized in the mother's line. All the names of the clan, the heritage and political titles are all inherited in mother's lines, and you have matrilineality. This is an important feature of all matriarchal societies. And the second feature is that a big part of the economy, especially the economy of the basic goods like fields and houses and food, is in the hands of the women. Then, when you meet this, you can be sure you are in a matriarchal society. But when I say the economy is in the hands of the women, does not mean they possess it all. It is given into the hands from all clan members, and the oldest woman, the matriarch, distributes it equally at all the members of the community. It's the power of distribution what women have, not of possession. I'm talking about the patterns of still living matriarch societies, because how they do their social connections and how they do their economy can we observe only in the from the living example. I just mentioned one. The biggest which we know today are the Minangkabau of Sumatra. These are 6 million people who have a high level of education, and besides the agricultural land they have all modern professions. They are well educated and well known in Indonesia for their high standard. Others, another one where I did field work on my own, are the Mozuo of southwest China. There are 250,000 people. It's not so small. It's not so big as our states, but it's not so small. For example, in Africa, in Western Africa, we have these Akan people, and there are many. Ghana has many of these peoples who are under this new modern government today, and they are not few. And to give an example from America, the most extended matriarchal society is historically well known. These are the 5 tribes of the Iroquois in Northeast America. Each tribe was big, and they formed a union, a league of these big tribes, and they managed a territorium of the size that you could put half of Europe into it. So big. On many levels it's important. It's important for they have really gender equality, what we do not have in our society. In our society still men are at the top and women have all the lower places and are still oppressed, even if they try hard to get more influence in society. Their gender equality, we say sometimes in the modern, they are truly gender democratic, what we are not in our societies. Another point is, we have deep economic crisis in our societies, because this is an economy which is based on capitalist money economy. That means the few take always the goods of the many and become richer and richer, and the people become poorer and poorer. This is not possible in a matriarchal economy, because the economy is shared. They have a shared economy, truly have no rich people and no poor people. Everybody has a good share of it, because they distribute their goods and give it away as gifts at the many festivals. So they have They have also an egalitarian economy, and I think this would be really a blessing if we could have it in our societies. When we compare matriarchal societies with patriarchal ones, then we see it's a completely different pattern and way of life. They are egalitarian, they have a well-balanced economy, they do political decision-making by consensus, they venerate and respect Mother Earth and will not destroy her. When you think about that, you see the big difference to our patriarchal society, where exploitation of women, animals, the earth, and also of many men is a daily affair. And so many social suffering and so many social chaos, and only a few elite becoming powerful and rich and the others are suffering. This is, in my eyes, this is chaos, nothing else. And when we see how matriarchal society managed this all in a well-balanced society where every person has his or her say and are well embedded in the maternal clan and the economy and so on, then we really have a new vision or new idea from what a human society can be. And this is a new paradigm which will give us completely new, a new paradigm of society. And when we look at the history also of history, because we are told that all history comes from patriarchal societies and men always make history. It's completely nonsense. Because patriarchy is a relative recent development, not older than 6,000 years. But before, pre-patriarchal patterns prevailed all over the world, and it lasted for many thousand years, and when you still go back into Neolithic times, they lasted about 10,000 years before. This was a very stable and very peaceful society, and later patriarchy started and brought all this mess upon us. What can be grown in a region is the best way to bring the people together, to respect the region with their special sources, and to behave ecological in the true sense. We have a very strong bioregional movement everywhere in the world, everywhere. Also in India and everywhere, and these people, and in South America, and these people strongly oppose against the state and the capitalist economy to take over all of their sources. So I think this is a very important way, and these people should connect each other to become stronger against it. For example, think of Monsanto, who tries to take over all our food resources. Modern patriarchy is capitalist patriarchy, because women and many people on the world are exploited by these capitalist structures and capitalist globalization. You see, with this bioregionalism, the movement of communities is combined. For if you have land, you can't work alone a plot of land. You can just work alone on a tiny garden. So, and a tiny garden is not a solution for food, for everybody. So when people have plots of lands, it's the best way to create a community and to work communally on this land. And so, again, already a community comes into being. A land demands care. And care is given by many people there, and especially women have a relationship to land. In the countries of the so-called third world, these are mostly women who do this subsistence economy and nourish their families because they have no money. But with this subsistence economy, to work communally on their small plots on land, they can maintain their families. So bioregionalism is intrinsic to matriarchal societies as they still live, and is also for us very important if we want to create new ones. I think women can start to create these communities and to overcome their isolation in nuclear families or as single mothers. When they create these communities, they can help each other, like in a symbolic clan with matriarchal features, and it would be very good if they also have a common economy, like common land or co-housing, common house, and so on. And I think women suffer most from patriarchal patterns in many different ways. So women are the first ones who want to or do already create small matriarchal groups and want to go on with this. But it must not only be with women alone. Men can come in, but the women are the ones who will initiate and lead these communities.
Usoko